4-0 in this specific matchup against 3D Max. So already feels like it could be a bit of an uphill climb, let's say,
absolutely.
for the French side. Not only in terms of still regaining that form a little bit, but just as Veto Pressers does not look kindly upon them. But we are live. Let's get the B stream underway here. Myself, Neokai, and Skriv as it'll be 3D Max starting on that T side here on their map pick of Dust 2.
Just the early smoke down. Nothing too unorthodox here. Nothing too quick either from 3D Max. They'll try and go for the short control. Flash comes around, stare. Has to be careful that he doesn't get caught in transition. I think he absolutely will get caught. Does well to find one, honestly. I thought he was going to be dead to rights in a position like that, but he'll take the even start. Meanwhile, little creep coming in from Yabby at the car. Not being considered. Also 1-for-1. The Glock's now closing the gap, but missed opportunity to take Hooksy down, it has to be said, and now he's going to have some support to back him up. The smoke on the cross should allow them for the bomb plant, but there's a nade for the break, and it looks pretty damn good. XSC's going to take some damage here in his exchanges. A little bit through the smoke. Not looking good. He's going to attempt the bomb plant. I think he should get away with this, but it's going to cost him a lot of that control. They will charge him down, and the Glock not fast enough.
To be fair, getting a bomb plant out of that situation, that's actually not that bad. Like, that round was kind of one and done with the kill on towards car, really. So the fact that you actually get a little bit of extra money on deck in towards the next is something to fall back on. But nice and simple, strong there from Astralis as well. And I thought, you know, like you were talking about with Stare, like getting caught there, he could have very easily fallen back, but getting one of that engagement is actually really important. It's an information gather, and it's a decent trade. So signs are looking positive, and it does also, you know, open the door to a couple of questions. Like, if Astralis do take Dust 2, then surely there's just no chance of Max at that point. We could be talking about a somewhat swift 2-0 at that point, just because of how strong that Overpass has been. No buy, funny enough, actually. Off the bomb plant.
Little against character in a way for 3D Max, but especially, like you say, with the bomb plant. But I think there's going to be a lot of respect here in terms of the veto, in terms of the matchup. Kind of a kryptonite team for 3D Max when they've been meeting, and that just sort of continues. There's not really a map that 3D Max can abuse them on, so it's a very, very tough matchup in general. And you just at that spot, it kind of sucks in a way that you meet one of the tougher teams in the 2-1 game. You know, so much on the line, definitely more so than a 2-0 game.
Grouping up short here, going for an A-pop in just a moment. Again, this is sort of around that. If you can get a bomb plant out of this, you'd absolutely take it. We're going to dive down, stare under pressure. He's got the support off Boozy. Rifle trying to tap away at range. But they're going to lose the sight, and they're going to allow a plant to come through here. Sure, the round still feels all but unattainable for 3D Max, but getting a plant at this level of a buy, you'll take that, and they've already got themselves a kill, looking for a second.
Trying. Not looking too likely, though, on these Glocks, of course. And a wild flag from Gravity. But not going to happen. Still, look, you'll be happy with that, right?
Another plant, man. So a little bit more money.
You've got like a full buy coming in now.
Coming up too,
Exactly. Really in good position, I think, for the French side. These backgrounds that get me. What? That is a crazy room.
What a wallpaper, huh?
Yeah,
that's old school.
That's crazy. And like the wood.
That's like my nan's place.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like it. The door as well. This is definitely like a
chateau.
Yeah, like a little bit of a French apartment type thing, you know?
Yeah.
He's definitely a croissant enjoyer, I would imagine, on his little balcony.
Is that a stereotype?
No, it's French, like, you know.
Isn't that like saying like we like beans on toast? Yeah, I do like
exactly,
beans on toast.
Exactly. It's a little bit.
It's one of the things I will say British people get shit on for, and then people try it and realize it's actually quite good.
It's all right. It sort of fills a gap.
Yeah.
The one I can't get behind is jacket potatoes.
Really? I like a jacket potato.
They're okay. I just
jacket
find
potato, beans and cheese.
You either have people who like eat a jacket potato maybe like once in a while when you remember they exist.
That's me.
Or, as I have a couple of friends, they're having like 4 jacket potatoes a week. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's too many.
Guys, the war's done, you know what I mean? You don't need to ration anymore.
Exactly. It's just too much, you know?
Yeah, I can't think of what else is considered like really British cuisine.
Sausage rolls.
See, that's what you know, Greg's sausage roll is quite popular. I don't like them.
Yeah.
At all.
It's the same as the beans on toast, though. It hits a base level of like, this is kind of just casual food.
Yeah.
You know? It's not meant to blow your socks off. Then you got stuff like the full English, which is goated.
Yeah, full English goated. The other one that people always kind of contest, but it is British, is chicken tikka masala.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, that guy was invented it in Scotland.
Crazy.
There we go. We are actually 30 seconds out.
Yeah, we've been yapping and they're not doing anything.
They're just soft saving. They took the initial couple of kills. Lucky and Ecstasy's fall, and 3D Max just call it a day. But they called it a day at about 1 minute 20.
Yeah.
I kind of thought we'd have a little conversation.
And then we'd have to like
lock in.
Rein it back in.
Yeah, exactly. But we never had to rein it back in. So that's that. That's the round. It was a cuisine round. As French didn't like the taste of this one, they just call it a day. And that one.
Class.
Yeah, it's M&A back again.
Yeah. Pretty good. Right. I don't know, that's such a weird kind of save situation for me, I suppose. I guess
Lucky can buy back in, so he had a lot of cash.
Definitely something in the water, though. This is a 3D Max with like a lot of discipline. We spoke about locking in jokingly. I think they've definitely done that. You know, we wouldn't usually see them eco after getting that bomb plant. We wouldn't see them save there. They'd still attempt it against some of the other teams in stage 1 here, you know. But Astralis, they seem sort of scared, dare I say.
Yeah. It definitely feels what 3D Max is throwing at the moment is just highly against the meta. Like, this is just not how, you know, the 90 percentile will play.
Yeah.
Your bomb plant, your force spy, and a 3v5, you at least give it a look in, right? Just send the feelers around as a pack and see what, you know, opens up. Maybe a little bit of pressure towards B, but at like the 1 minute 20 mark to just call for that save, it's a really interesting call. But like you said, I think it probably is a bit of a tell on the mental that they could be a little bit terrified. Masuta will open up proceedings, though. He takes a lot of damage in doing so, but staying alive is all that matters, and the flash to come through. Now they can start barreling in towards long and just force Hooksy back on towards that site. Exorcist is the only one with a lesser buy, that Deagle, and they might just use him as cannon fodder, really.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of information gained as well by Masuta's play, so they're pretty confident in taking the long control here. Smoke's come out early, there's a couple breaks, but there's a smoke behind it, which I believe is a CT smoke, actually. That's giving them some space. Hooksy tries to walk through. Not going to work for him, so a lot of this is going to be on Yabi on the side, taking a wild swing. Astralis look kind of disjointed here. Spray transfer's not there, it's all on Ryu. I mean, he could take a couple of names. There's some pretty low players here. That's one of the healthier ones, so for a moment, I was believing in giving us something, but unfortunately, just no real presence in that round from Astralis. And yeah, a timeout coming in from them. I mean, I suppose both teams feeling pretty nervy here.
Yeah, I just think for Astralis, that round just falls apart with 2 overzealous swings. I don't mind in a 4 versus 5, especially with the damage that had been confirmed damage on towards Masuta because they heard him get dinged. If you want to send one in, and it being at Hooksy, I think that's an absolutely fine thing to do. But I think Yabi just got to stay and play with the pack there. He's got to play with the numbers. He's got to play on towards short. I think playing around the box itself is absolutely fine because the short player can hold the jump up behind him on towards CT boxes, and he knows that he's going to be that first point of contact as they swing up towards ramp. But I think he just is a little bit too eager to engage in towards that one, and it's just too simple. You look at both of these fights here as well, and statistically, there's just no way you're winning them. For Hooksy phasing a smoke, I feel like it really isn't something he needs to do, but I don't hate it, right? Because you've got the numbers advantage. But the second guy going in, he just swings in towards the pack. No chance in hell. Nice one, 3D Max. It's just around that patience pays off for them. But I think yeah, I can really understand why Astralis call for quite an early timeout themselves. They really need to, I think, just rein themselves back in there. If they play a little bit more patient, slow things down the way 3D Max are, I think they win that round just off the virtue of the man advantage.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, right? It's a lot here to deal with. You've got, like, this is an online game, which these guys wouldn't have played against each other online in a long time. Is that going to change things? Then you got, like, a little jump in the routine in the sense that, you know, it's not as early of a day as well for these guys, right? Who are usually on the earlier game and everything. So it's just a few things that are maybe changing in the routine, maybe making you feel a bit uncomfortable here in this first game. Oh, Fangle for Hooksy. He's got late support as well coming in. Beautiful crunch. Really beautiful crunch. That'll be the bomb. And of course, only 2 players remaining. One of which is Maka. Always keep your eyes on the AWP, but surely not going to happen here. They now know where both players are at. 45 seconds. It might just be another soft save angle now that they've got that in the DNA.
Yeah, I think you're probably right here. 40 seconds to make a decision for 3D Max, but I think that decision will be where can I shell up and save. Masuta, he might be a little bit too far ingrained to save is the only issue. And he's actually just continuing to take a little bit of dips in the HP to the HGs. That's the third one that's hit him in this round. This round is all but done. Bomb was unrecoverable from that first engagement. Lovely first fight as well. Hookshi does so well. Great for the first, waits for the flash, swings with Yabi for the second. That's perfect long re-aggression from Astralis. They can do it flawlessly. They haven't even taken a point of damage. Save comes through. So the open AK kept afloat. Buying around is still going to be a little bit rough. Mac has got enough to drop an AK. That might help someone in some way, but it's still going to be a little bit funky. I think someone's going to have to take a dip in terms of the investment, unless they half buy, which is also still technically a possibility because of lost bonus. But it's tough. Like, not many teams like half buying around to save the open AK, especially just the AWP in general. It's really hard to facilitate that in towards rounds. But that's what they're going to go for. So again, we talk about kind of the against the grain, against the meta type plays. This is what they're going for. Ryu will take a tag on the cross. Yeah, double tech 9, P250, and they've just bolstered up the Yuto a little bit.
Yeah, just obviously, I think trying to change things up. The approach slightly different than the last time that they played.
Ooh.
They did get beat pretty handily at Cluj. Wow, lot of damage coming in here on both sides, really. Just gagging for that first kill.
Yeah.
Mid control coming in. Fake out on the mid to B smoke. Obviously not going to be the best one either because it is just eyeballed rather than lined up. They are not acting on it. Still just trying to grab some info, bait out some more utility. A little bit left for a short hit, but the AWP, the keen angle, flash comes in. He takes the shot and
Close.
it just misses. He also just about survives. Meanwhile, Stare down below. Need to hold the line. Yeah, that's not the best of smokes. Maybe part of the bait, though.
He got caught on the box on site. That actually going to force him to the right a little bit. Flash and a trickle downs there. Probably in a lot of trouble here, but this AWP's going to go huge. Fuzi, big ask for him as well. It's starting to round that corner. They've spotted the lower player. Fuzi biding his time, but he'll lose his head to a P250. Bomb goes down 4 versus 4. There is legs behind this for 3D Max somehow.
Maybe, just maybe. Maka on the AWP, we're going to find out. He does get his head blown off. The pistols are actually doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Look, he runs out of ammo. It's brought close. It certainly is. And yeah, they feel maybe just one more shot, one more headshot could have been all the difference. Not the case here. I think they'll be happy with the return on investment, but they wanted that one.
Yeah, exactly. It's a minimal investment, bomb plant 3 kills. You can still take some positives away from it, but yeah, it's one of those where you look back on it and just say, like, if one other like ding could come through, that could have changed the trajectory there, but not to be in the end. Nice effort, but even nicer retake. We'll get the first time out for 3D Max. I think they're in the kind of same vein that we're saying. They're pretty certain that this is not the level that they need to be playing at take down Astralis. We've already highlighted that in towards this series, the importance of Dust 2 for 3D Max. Realistically, if we go off kind of recent performances and map specifics, Overpass is looking a little bit doom and gloom for the 3D Max side. Cluj was not that long ago. It was a triumphant defeat.
Yeah, they made a change since then.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of stacked against them. Well, it's tough. It feels like Astralis are just already in their heads before the game's even started a little bit.
Yeah, won the mental game.
Yeah, it doesn't
won the
feel
warm
like
up. They took spawn and that was it. Nothing really shores up the confidence than that. Getting an AK out and just standing in spawn. What's happened was they
behind them.
Yeah, exactly.
As they respawn.
That's it. Mental game 1. A lovely 4-round buffer to have, though. I mean, it's a really, really solid spot to currently be in. Flash is ineffective. Of course, they posted. Uzi. The break on towards that smoke. Oh, that's just instinctual. The sniper's sense. And it's lucky he'll get caught. That's 2 of the top 10 players in this stage so far in that head-to-head, and Fuzi comes out on top.
Not what you wanted. You're just taking a timeout, and yeah, your top dog, maybe the experienced voice, you might say the captain of sorts on this team. Just gets flattened through a smoke. What can you do? It's the worst trade-off. You know, there's an AWP mid. It's like, yep, we knew that. There's definitely going to be an AWP mid. It's not like you've picked up loads of info or done any damage to him.
Yeah, if you die but you spot 2 in towards short or something, you can actually take the positives away.
Right,
but
right.
There's nothing to gain there. He has no idea what the setup's looking like.
Crazy movement, though. Fuzi has completely changed up his position towards long.
They've gone for a triple B stack as well.
Yeah.
They've got to read it.
I feel like a spot like this, when there's no aggression towards long, he's kind of out of the round right now.
Yeah. I think maybe that cross smoke, they're sure that it feels like a B finish because of the mid to B smoke, but
They've read it.
be a tough retake here.
Yeah, with no more presence, they have definitely read this.
I like this.
20 seconds. It
like
makes
this.
sense that they're going to try and go for something through the smoke. Huxi on the other side, bumping into him. Oh, 3
no.
lining up, and he gets them all. Oh, that you love to see it. You love to see it. Absolutely beautiful, pure cinema. Over on short, and a clean one to close it out.
Oh, just brilliant from Huxi. He just had to wait, and they were bumping into each other in the smoke, but he turns around, and 3 of them are lined up. That's lovely. That really is. It's such a brazen late move to make in the round, but when that smoke comes down from the T side, to play behind it, use it against them, it's beautiful.
But it's just, they perfectly lined up, man. That's
Easiest spray transfer of his life.
Yeah. Sometimes they're going to be a little spread, there's going to be a zigzag, there's going to be a guy right at the front that you got to deal with.
CT.
Yeah, exactly.
None of that. That's
Beautiful.
perfect. And that lack of time was the thing that really hindered them there. They couldn't afford to do anything else. Nice shot for a couple, especially that second being blind as well. Huxi maybe needed more because Fuzi's lost his life on the site. 2 versus 2. And despite what they came in towards this round with, might be a bit of a chance in it. Exorcise, he'll scoop up the bomb. He takes a tick to the molly, but he's got the sight, and that's the big factor.
Oh, or has he? He's not made it in yet. He's not made it in.
Interesting choice to go down there.
Yeah, true.
He was on short. He could have just walked and joined the suitor.
Yeah, that is true.
Planted short if you wanted to, or planted safe backside and had the bomb plant. The choice there to drop down, I don't even know where it really even comes from, because I didn't hear any information.
More nades, unless I didn't quite catch. I mean, looking at where they've died, I don't think it'd be the case. The only thing I could think is at the bottom, like, does that awkward spill?
Yeah.
But looking at where they died, they're deep enough in short that it wouldn't be the case. The suitor felt inevitable that he wasn't going to win that one after some bad luck or bad choices. Just not quite happening. There's a moment there. 3D Max remember who they are as they get aggressive and just charge in relentlessly. But unfortunately, it doesn't work out in the end. Astralis really do have their number here.
Yeah, they're looking very comfortable. Yeah, so Stair gets kind of 2.
Bomb goes down here.
Yeah, he picks up through the molly, right? You'll see after this. He kind of goes back, picks it up through the molly, and then for some reason just
straight jumps
just
down,
dives down.
Yeah.
It feels so unnecessary, and it ends up being, just so costly. 7-1 scoreline here. Astralis on the CT side of Dust 2 are love and life. And, you know, this is a point that we brought up all the way throughout kind of the B stream that we've been talking about. A really good sign is kind of proactivity on the CT side. That's normally quite a good test of how confident a side are. But I'll say that Astralis, for the most part, don't even need to be too proactive. They've just been giving so many opportunities. But that's a nice find, though. Fuzi, with the jump across, tries to use that as a bit of a human flashbang, but Maka doesn't shoot on instinct. He waits, and the patience will work for him. Gravity, a risky move that potentially could work in his favor. Smoke on the corner, molly in towards spawn. He's just trying to draw attention here. This is not a committal play at all.
Gonna get some attention. Yabi's giving it a look. Just the timing of it all doesn't quite match. Snade. Expected a bit more, but still decent damage onto Maka. 55 seconds on the clock. You can feel 3D Max do not want to mess this one up. Step. Dangerous move. Spots a shadow. Shoots a little early. He's backed up by the AWP of Huxi. Picked it up off the ground and looking to do some good work with it. So far, they have. They've brought the numbers in their favor.
Yeah, look at the time, man. 35
seconds. Bay. He's just not looking good. There is a presence from Long. However, he's going to get caught. Yabi's patience pays off. He might need one more here, though, to convince us of the round win. Nearly both, not quite. 20 seconds left, and no idea where Rio's at for this one.
he does plant exposed to long, but Ryu's just a little late on that rotation. He comes making his way up. Lucky is not expecting this just yet. Now he'll start to turn attention. There! Reactionary shot from Lucky. By name, by nature, as they win out the clutch in a much needed round for 3D Max. They were knocking on death's door in this half already, and that will absolutely alleviate some of the pressure.
Yeah, no look there, man. All skill, I think. All skill for that kind of a flick. Maybe the timing works out in his favor. But yeah, close one, and again, 3D Max, like you say, absolutely needed it. I think they feel that big style. Make sure that they get it locked in. And it's not a sure thing. It needs some divine intervention. Either way, back into the buy for Astralis as they look to return the round and just, again, crush the hopes and dreams of 3D Max here, which certainly would be a doable prospect. You know, 11-1, 10-2. Looks pretty similar to me. Yeah,
I think you're right. I mean, realistically, I think 3D Max need like bare minimum 4. If they can make a 7-5 out of this half, we'll actually sing the praises for the recovery, because they've obviously been checked out for the vast majority of this map in play so far. If they can just string a few towards that tail end, you can just chalk it up to being a slow start and getting the sleep out of the eyes and whatnot. Unorthodox angle here. HooXi's alone in this endeavor, though. Traditionally, players have a supporting element here, but HooXi won't, and he's going to fall too easily. Down he goes. Fuzi going to drop back in towards the site. He's given the luxury of that. He takes a shot on a shoulder peak, but he misses. And now pressure starting to come through as well. Gravity hit by the flash, but they're not fully clearing him just yet. Stair will. Good check and a find. Back into the 4 versus 4. Sub 30 seconds. You don't have time here.
No, Fozy spotting. Oh, the tip of a head and a player in the smoke as well.
Hello.
Quick move from Yabi, just keeping them completely crunched in. Stairs join the party. Ecstasy with a nice shot, but it doesn't matter. And wow, after what felt like a really good situation, the setup was whack, to be honest. You know, they had 3 heavily over on B, 1 on the site watching short, but then he loses the long guy. It felt like they were just going to get fully overwhelmed, but a long traversal towards that A bomb site lets the Frenchman down.
Yeah, they just take too much time. They've just got to scale so much quicker than that. Especially on the missed shot of Fuzi. That's also not only information gained of where the AWPer is, but it's also a player that is, kind of, in terms of the gun they're using, one of the easiest to put pressure on with the right utility. But they just don't. For 3D Max, they take so long, and it buys time for the rotations to come through, and the shots are nice. Brilliant work from Astralis. They're relentless in the pressure that they're putting on at the moment. This is looking a lot more like the side and sort of living up to the org value name and whatnot. It's a half buy here. It looks like it might just be a pretty simple B-pop. Well, they got 2 players here to meet them. Yabi and then Ryu, good for the first. Makes it a second as well as he drops down into the flames. In the fire they fall. It's a shutdown as all 5 drop like dominoes. And that B site is under lock and key.
I think that's what they were expecting in the round previous to that.
Yeah, probably.
And then they go for the same kind of setup because they hadn't really seen it, right? Fozy's also in the conversation there with some utility, gets himself a nade kill.
It's too easy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, works really well, and they're just sort of starting to read. It gets to that stage. We've not really seen a B rush. We've not really seen a B play. The retakes look good enough. So do you need to put more resource into A? Not necessarily. They are changing things up a bit here. Also, a lack of mid presence from 3D Max, right? So you don't have to worry about that in the early round, or if at all. Astralis just all over them at the moment. Really difficult, I think, to watch at times. 3D Max, kind of a pundit's favorite, you know? They really do.
I've been a big fan of them
twist the knife and just change things ever so slightly round on round, but when it's not working, it gets a bit ugly.
Tail end of last year, they were like one of my favorite teams to watch when they made that change to big gravity core. Like, I just love the counter-strike they were playing. We'll come back to that point. There is a B hit coming through here, and there's one man to deny it, and they can't. This is a 2 versus 4. I think Astralis, this is, I mean, they're going to give it a go, of course, but how do you give this a go? Oh, it's not a bad start.
No. Now, Maka, be good. Do not overswing this, and indeed he's just going to hold the angle. Again, understanding how important it is. Couple flashes here. available for that CT side. There's Bahuxi before the smoke comes down, but it's just too many bodies, isn't there, really?
That's
Too
tough.
many bodies. Bozy spotted, taken down, and it will indeed be a find for 3D Max. They get 3 in total. Most teams would say not really enough, but stranger things have happened in the game of Counter-Strike, and especially when I think this French team is involved. They are absolutely mad. I'm looking forward to what we've got in the second half. We'll see you in a few.
Alrighty, welcome back. A pretty dominant display coming through from Astralis, just not pulling any punches in that first half, and they've set themselves up so damn nicely in towards the second half of Dust 2. They're on towards the T side now. We've already painted the bleak picture of if 3D Max lose this map, and well, so far Scriv are on track to.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a tough old run here, but like I said, they're certainly capable. They do have it in their locker to just turn the heat up. Get that dial to 11. As some speakers do indeed go. Maka, charging forwards here. Looking to try and find the double. Doesn't quite, but yeah, I think they'll be happy with the overall result, and they've just gained so much control, and it works quite nicely. Astralis were thinking about B, and now they just have zero map control other than what they spawned with, so not looking too good.
That's a great find, though. That'll change things. Yeah, he did spot him, but he'll lose his head. There's that head-to-head of the two top 10s. They're going to go for a double pump back towards B, but inherently this is a bloodbath. There's dualies here. Who knows whether it'll be positive or negative. It starts well for Yabi for one. They don't expect the second. Masuda's going to try and dip his way back in towards the site, and he does. He opts against the util, and he goes for the frags. Backs himself for the USP rather than trying to play around the util, and it works out lovely. They needed that so desperately, 3D Max, and that might just reignite the spark that is oh so desperately needed.
Yeah, big shots landed for sure. Really impressive stuff, and I mean, like you say, just going to give them that boost, give them some confidence back. I like to call it the fresh slate moving into a second half, especially when your first half's just really not gone well for you.
Yeah, I'll also say, like, it's really nice to see that 3D Max, despite a really middling performance towards the first half, they go for a really proactive, like, aggressive move. They're like, that is inherently quite risky. There's a real risk in losing a pistol round like that. Like, if you push in towards tunnels and you just get decimated, you mental boom. Like, there's no side that's not going to be tilted by that. And at that point, you don't know what, 10-3 down, probably 11-3 down as well. I mean, you put yourself to a point where it's like, you just check out. Maybe you start to think, like, this is, we can't touch these guys.
Yeah, definitely felt like in the first half they were kind of nervous. Then they maybe realized, pulled it back a little. And I think for me, it took some time for them to realize that. And by that point, Astralis had already built up enough of a buffer, enough of that momentum that we like talking about.
That old chestnut.
Yeah, to just sort of shut them down. I mean, they're buzzwords for a reason,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Because they're useful.
Yeah. Is there a different word for momentum that we could start using that might be good?
Should we have a look? Momentum was a synonym.
Synonym.
Momentum. Synonym. There you are. 21 different ways. Energy.
Nah. Propulsion. There you go.
Oh.
How about that? We like that.
Yeah.
Got good propulsion behind them.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Good work.
I like that. We're just going to make that our thing.
Yeah.
Rather than saying momentum, they've got great propulsion behind them. That's how we differentiate it.
Yeah, that's how we separate ourselves out. Yeah, our USP. Using slightly not quite the right word.
Yeah, exactly. And then trademarking it for the cash. He smoked towards one. Ecstasy's, be careful. He was sort of quite laissez-faire in his approach there as he was falling away. It just cost him his life. It's too easy as they swing out. Down he goes, and they're rapidly taking long control. We critiqued 3D Max for when they took long control being very slow in the approach. This has got a lot more punch behind it. Hooksy finds one from short as well to make matters all the more tougher. But 3D Max, you might just save here.
Yep, they are. I mean, Astralis just like way more confident in themselves, and then they have the rounds, they have the ability to back it up.
Yeah.
Get the words out and onto the paper, really. Super, super effective stuff here as they will just continue their winning ways. We sometimes talk about the pistol as having a more random element to it.
Yeah.
Not to fully write them off. You know, pistol strats can be nice and whatnot. But this is kind of a good argument for it because, as you see, as soon as the guns come out, the quote-unquote real Counter-Strike, Astralis are right back to just ripping through them.
Yeah, but it's still starting to get in.
He's not having the best game. He's not having the worst game, but I think certainly... Well, he's actually top of the scoreboard for them, but it just feels like Ecstasy's has been the one getting caught or
a lot,
losing fights that he should be winning.
I agree.
Maybe that's because we're just catching him more and he's taking more of said fights, not getting clapped immediately like the rest of his teammates.
No, I think you're right, but it's just a tilter as well because I think for him, he just didn't expect them to be as kind of brazen as they were, but it's actually a perfect example of the thing we were talking about. In 3D Max, we critiqued them twice, the two times that first half where we said they've taken long control and they just take an age to get up and towards the side. They're so slow in moving. Look at this on the flip side. First gun round from Astralis, they take long control nicely and they just barrel it towards the A site immediately. Smoke down, cross, bomb plants as soon as possible. You get a split coming through, a Hooksy coming through short. Like, they just don't slow down at all. And it just doesn't give you time to rotate. By the time we had actually kind of like developed any sort of around there, it was 3 versus 5, with 2 of the players were still rotating from B to the point where actually they haven't even crossed mid doors and they were thinking, it's not even worthwhile. Like, there's a guy in towards short as well that we can't fight in. We got 1 guy CT, 2 of us have only just rotated off the B site. Like, let's just already call it a day. This is not worth our time. So that's a perfect example of the thing we were talking about. And we were 3D Max. Maybe it was whether it was like nerves or too much respect being shown to Astralis, but they were so slow in their endeavors to actually take the site itself. Nade and Flash will be traded in towards lower. Only a chip damage with the nade, but it's actually enough to make Stair one tap towards the M4. So Let's keep an eye on that. It's a absolute gorgeous flash from Fuzi, and Hooksy might get 2 for it. He will. Fragging IGL indeed as Yabi swings through the flames. This is boys versus men out there as Astralis are just in electric form. Masuta gets 1, makes it 2, but it's all for naught. There's just no competition here, Scriff.
Yeah, unbelievable. Absolutely wild. I think the face of a defeated man and another one.
They're checked out, aren't they?
Well, it's like, what can you do? You know, you're just not on the same page. Like, the flash comes in. This guy's around the corner with nades out. They were obviously trying to line something up themselves, and they've just been slapped with the timing. Astralis playing a very, very, very aggressive game, which, again, might be out of sorts for them. Slightly different DNA and coding.
Yeah. But you can really see like the difference in terms of like the vibes and the way they're approaching these T sides. Like Astralis, they're just
while they can get away with it,
yeah,
why
they're
wouldn't you?
so confident right now, and it is one of those things that, like, you know, as we just proved in that first half, we're just leagues better right now. Like, why wouldn't we? Like, you just keep doing it until it stops working. The age-old sort of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, that is actually, I love this sort of style that Hooksy's throwing in here. And also as well, not only, you know, Hooksy, you know, throwing in, but he's actually leading the charge as well. He's doing a lot of the legwork on this T side so far. That round, of course, he's the guy who's entering in towards short and taking the space with the support of Yabi. The previous round, he was lurking, which basically more or less guaranteed the round. That fight went in towards short was the last A defense being dropped down. Like, he's doing a lot of the legwork as well as a lot of the great calling too. So it's impressive stuff. It's Maka on an AWP and everybody else on pistols. Maka's the only one with even armor. So this round, once again, another one that feels all but unattainable.
Yeah, I think one of the key things here that I definitely want to mention that has been kind of a going line with 3D Max is that they're a team that's been figured out into this year.
I think you're right. I couldn't agree more.
And it feels like Astralis are playing like that. It feels like Hooksy's got the number and just, yeah, really, really sure of himself here. But unfortunately, we have to witness the demise of 3D Max on Dust 2. It's going to keep happening here. Be a run of 7 in a row. No mean feat for sure. Maka on the AWP here. Trying to be a hero.
Hard done by, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, that is unlucky. But as soon as he's heard, as soon as he's seen, they're like, okay, see you later.
Off
they
we
don't
pop,
want anything to do with that.
It's punchy. Suits up. Down he goes. They're just being whittled away now. And Ryu can be left as an insurance policy on the lurk. Lucky. The last man towards the A side. We've got 40 seconds to work with, and in comes the Util. No molly on towards the site itself, which is a bit of a rarity. Normally you use one, try and clear. He might get something with this. There's one. As he dips his head back round, Hooksy spamming through the box. This round was all but a foregone conclusion. Many a fight to go, but that was the last maybe grasp onto it. If Lucky could have got 2, maybe even the chance of the 3rd. However, I don't love this. The push in. They might lose the AWP here right at the end. I mean, they've got a bit of money to work with, but it might be awkward for the buy. Makamis shot, surely dead to rights. Ryu, lovely lurking play, but I mean, it's a pick your poison about where you want to save there because Ryu was already in towards upper B, but do you need to make that move?
Yeah, I think there's just going to be frustration setting in there on a save attempt like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all this kind of, what is it, the 7 stages of grief where you have like denial, anger, acceptance, and I think they're maybe in the acceptance stage.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. It's now up to the powers above,
Is it 7
really.
stages?
I don't know. 6?
I thought it was 5. I
don't know.
I thought it was the 7 deadly sins. Gluttony, sloth, greed.
Yeah.
Wrath. Lust. What else am I missing? Gluttony, sloth, wrath, greed.
Avarice,
Lust.
maybe? Like money greed?
Well,
Gluttony
that's
and
greed.
greed would be like the same.
That's greed, yeah.
Gluttony's like food greed, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's a bit...
I'm just thinking 7 deadly sins that Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know if that means
there you
anything
go.
to you. But
Well, I've not seen it. I know.
Great show.
I know that it exists.
Great show.
That's about.
any of
there's
you ball
a
knowers,
dog.
I hope. Oh, don't talk about the dog. That's
Oh,
that's
okay,
that's gonna give anyone who's watched it flashbacks and not a good
Sorry.
way. It's ruined my day, mate.
For me, it's Seven, the famous movie with
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman and
Good
Brad
movie
Pitt.
as well. Uzi should be dead to rights here, whether it's to gravity or there's just a peek out. I'm gonna say to Maka. Maka actually rotates away. He might get himself one as well. He now knows he's an Xbox player. The 2 remaining for Astralis can't really do anything here, but you actually may as well go down. also save and you can have a buy-in towards next. You got plenty of money. Basically, it doesn't really matter. You're going to win this map at this point for Astralis, whether it's now or in a couple of rounds' time. Who really cares? They're making the move. They'll come through. More chip damage and enough there. Gravity and Maka. The B defense stands tall. So first time in a long time we get to sit here and talk positively about 3D Max. It's a really nice round for them, but still a long road to recovery, and they don't really look like they're up for the task.
No.
We don't believe in them, and let's be frank about the cameras,
take a while.
Don't believe in themselves.
It's going to take a while. And
yeah.
like I say, I think they're just sort of going through the motions here. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, they've not put too much stock in it, and they just kind of have to reset for the next map. Anyway, I really want to figure out, it's bugging me. I got another one, Pride.
Yes, Pride's one.
And then there's one more. So Greed, Gluttony, Sloth, Lust, Wrath, Pride. Don't know, not going to church. I
don't think it's religious things.
Yeah, the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, but it's not all like, yeah, true, I guess. But it's not like something as simple as that. We'll figure out. Either way, an opening kill's come through for Stare in what potentially could be the final round here. Suitor. He's the only B defense. He also can't be split from mid as well. He's got to go huge. He needs a multi-kill and he gets nothing. Damage is sure one thing, but it's not enough. And Stare on the lurk in towards that smoke in mid. The final nails in this coffin of map number 1 are being banged in and with ease. As Stare looks for the last, and he'll see it off as well. Simple from Astralis, and it's just such an electric showing from them. But on the flip side, on Dust 2, we could talk about that, but the thing is, you just had such a poor performance on your map pick, and with the last time they play being that one-sided, like, the worry is it could be the same again. Like, this is an Astralis side who just look leagues above of 3D Max at the moment. So we'll see how things pan out, but we're underway in towards the game here as well, as of course it will be 3D Max starting on that CT side, and Gravity up close with the dualies, full blind as he goes down to the hands of Ryu, but lucky from Graffiti for one. Ryu makes it his second, and more bodies are being found. It's Ryu for 3 in the round, and the last man is Maka with the dualies. 3 kills required for him.
He's here so fast though, ready and raring to go. They're able to just immediately trade. Very well played there in isolation, but overall the round looking very good for Astralis. And again, it's fast, it's aggressive.
Yeah.
I think that they really do just have this team figured out. They're very confident in their moves, which is something that, you know, you look at a team like Astralis, and maybe even Huxley as a caller, stereotypically take things a bit slower, a bit more methodical and whatnot. So we'll see if that comes into play later on in Overpass. But so far, Dust 2 and the pistol there, really quick, which is fun to see, and kind of a style that 3D Max like employing as well. So it's a bit of a FU in their face, you know?
Yeah, it's also one of those things where obviously you can't have done it in between the maps, but in hindsight, you know, just a lot. Well, I mean, obviously they don't really get a choice, but just having Astralis start on this T side, you know, it's where we look in towards this of where, like, for 3D Max, in hindsight, it would have been maybe better off to have them on the CT side, right? Because it might offer up a few more opportunities. Yabi, there's money to be made here with the MP7, 3 kills to his name. But yeah, kind of my point, right? Because of how good that T side was from Astralis, and because 3D Max get the choice of where they want to go, denying that T side for as long as possible might have been the smarter call. But they're just going to go straight back into what was already a dominant T side in Dust 2. You can then just kickstart it again here in towards Overpass. It's a worrying position here. MP7 has been scooped up by Maka. I don't know if he'll clear this. He's still going to get his one, though, with the Mach 10. And the round was all but done from before it even began, just because of the buy. I don't think Mac is going to be saving here. Whether he dies to a player in towards heaven, in towards lower, or via short, he's surely dead either way. But more consolation kills are being found at the very least.
Yeah, and money for your AWPer, man. Really going to be happy. Does eventually meet his maker, but it's decent going into the buy, taking 3 players down. Curious to see now what the plan is going to be from 3D Max. I think they need to come out of the gates. Yeah. Looking good.
Money in the bank, indeed. Indeed. Open play for Maka. Nice thing to have as early as they can get. Astralis will call a timeout, though, before getting underway and towards this gun round. You could argue a pretty premature timeout to call, like even arguably kind of unnecessary in a sense, but I don't hate it. You know, you're in a spot where you just had a fantastic first map, and you just want to make sure that you know for a fact that if you can win this first gun round, what shred of kind of like positive feelings are there for 3D Max start to get smaller and smaller by the moment. If you can win this first gun round, and especially being that it is Overpass and they're on the T side, like you look at this map and you look at kind of how it is currently in the map pool. I mean, it's got to be statistically the most seats on the map we have in the pool. Like I've done plenty of interviews. I spoke to Nathany not too long ago talking about Overpass, and he was saying that like in his eyes, like 10-2s are like easily recoverable. You get a 10-2 CT side, and that does not mean anything, right, in the grand scheme. So on the flip side, right, if we then see the likes of Astralis get 4-5 rounds on this T side, like 3D Max are already in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. So Stare, oh, nearly. Makado going to burn to the molly as he tries to escape. He cannot get away. So again, a really nice opening move from Astralis to just take down such a valuable asset of 3D Max.
It's Huxley's kill, but it's Stare's kill.
Yeah,
like he does the real dealing blow there. It's just a molly that sees him into the grave.
And towards B though is going to be the main hit. 2 players in towards this site. One going overlooked down below. Gravity able to get one, able to back off. Meanwhile, XSC's got a smoke down on the site to make life awkward. Rotation now coming in. There's a super quick flank, it feels, but Overpass a big old map, man. It takes a long time for these to get activated. So can they hold on? Can they survive? And indeed, has it been sniffed out? Gravity was ready for that. Not looking good now for Astralis, actually. Huxley very, very low. They've got no utility left, so going to have to hit some shots. Not happening thus far. Trade is there, but it's cost them an awful lot. 3 versus 2 with only 60 HP remaining. I think you look elsewhere, maybe even look towards the save. Masuta has got other ideas. Can't find the second.
Uzi's looking sharp, though.
It's just too low for this, I think.
Yeah, 7 points of HP in a 1 versus 3, turn 1 versus 2. All signs should point to a first run of the ball for 3D Max, but I'm not going to discount him just yet. Fuzi's had a fantastic tournament thus far, the 9th best player rating-wise. The 6th best player is Lucky, who of course is still alive. And with 10 seconds, I think he's just going to shell up and save. That'll be that. It was a bonus buy ultimately for Astralis, but also then means that whatever they spoke about in that tag timeout didn't come to fruition. It's a nice response. I just think that the one thing that we didn't really see at all towards Dust 2, and we've just seen it here, is kind of the first time that we've actually seen Astralis be forced to slow down. Like, because of the barrage of smokes in front of them, that real wall, they respect it. And in doing so, it ends up costing them. It just buys too much time for 3D Max to rotate over.
Yeah, they just went a bit wild. I think the big thing was Gravity was down below. They didn't expect him. He finds a kill, and then it's like no one's really in position to trade, because this is what happens when you play really fast. It's why teams tend to, at this level, go for what we might call a burst.
Yes.
Which is essentially a rush, but with just a slight bit more coordination. And it's so that teams are together, they can scale properly, they can trade off each other. What we saw there from Astralis was more of a rush play. And the whole the structure is broken down, so they just couldn't get the trades in, really. Gravity looking good, though, as the aggressor's dry and finds the first.
It's a good kill because it's one of the guns as well. Has been scooped up now by Ryu, but just important to see these weapons into the grave. Only 2 rifles to work with, and now 2 pistols. Gravity takes damage, sure. It is a positive position for 3D Max, and we haven't seen many of those in a while. Fuzi's going to be flashed into the fray. At least towards Banana, no one present. 3D Max are playing very standoffish here. That looks like bomb going B, by the way.
Retrieved, yeah. Maybe that is also why they're kind of standoffish, because the bomb's so far away. They don't want to overcommit. Suter from behind here. He might confirm some info here, though. Not going to get the kills, but it's like this utility's rained over the top towards A, and actually there's nobody in Banana, guys. There's nobody shaping up for A to get ready for the B hit, and they are indeed.
Nicely.
Ryu, though, with a keen find, and the secondary AK comes in to scoop up another. Masuta moving in fast, should be able to take this low HP player, and the one at the back too. Really nicely found. Still 2 versus 2 coming in. Now down to the one-on-one. Ryu's lost track of him, but the spray down lands. And a big, big round from New Blood.
Huge force buy to convert as well. 2 rifles, 3 pistols, and they make it stick. Astralis make the tough call. Do we low to half buy around that one saved, or do we go for a force and reset the economy? And they go for option 2, and it ends up paying off in dividends. Fantastic work. Ryu really calm and collect in that situation. Thrust into a 1 versus 2. He knows where 1 is. Easy swing to find, but it's that second player that he's not completely sure about. And based on timing as well, there was a world in which he could have made this move out of Graffiti in towards the site itself, but not to be for Lucky. Lovely work by Ryu. Reason why they picked him up, it's moments like that. He's 7-1 out the gate, and that is a 3rd round already on the T side. This is, it may seem early, but for those of us, you know, who follow this top end, like 3 rounds out of the first 4 played is, it's an alarming early kind of dominant showing from Astralis.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Ooh, 5-7. Looking to be deadly here. I mean, the buy from the CT side is not all that bad itself. We'll lose a couple there in the mid. And I think that changes things pretty substantially. Either way, slow a roll moving forward here. There's Gravity and Exorcist trying to gather some info. Maybe pick up a gun here. It's Exorcist you got to watch. He's all by himself on this B bomb site. They are making their way over preemptively. We spoke out short, that's fair. Ahead, but he's missed one of them, and
needed.
That's the player that catches him. Gravity now in from behind. I mean, MP9, do you save it into the next? Probably not by himself. Always going to be a chance. Maybe make some money here as
he's
well.
Dead, yeah.
Big catch.
Oh, knife him, just for the love of the game.
Yeah.
No, he didn't back himself. You could have done it.
Needed that kill though, man.
Yeah,
and
he
the
did.
AK.
Could have done it. Would have liked a little bit of extra cash on hand. An extra 1K in your pocket. Not many of us are going to say no to that.
It's true, but what's worse, you know? Losing the kill because you tried to knife him, or just getting the kill and not getting as much money?
In for a penny, in for a pound, mate.
Fair enough. You know, or a farming, I believe they call it.
Pretty sure I saw a statistic that Blitz has the most knife kills at pro level. I think this was maybe just prior to when Cluj had started, but he had like already like 16 knife kills. Or maybe it was including Cluj as well. Even still, it's a lot.
Yeah.
They
do go for them quite a lot on that team.
Yes, disappointed indeed. Disappointed. Couldn't agree more. 4 rounds on the T side, and the 5th is very attainable for the Astralis side, who have the considerably better buy here. It'd be a real shame if this series is a complete non-starter for 3D Max. I mean, of course, like we mentioned, it's not getting to the road if they are to lose here, but not a good confidence booster heading in towards tomorrow's 2-2 games. And this had all the makings to be kind of an interesting series, but it's sort of been far from at the moment. Very one-way traffic.
Yeah, certainly the case. Maybe some legs to this round. We'll see. They're pulling out all the gimmicks. Boost towards short. Not spotting anything just yet.
Got our AK scooped up. You'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
A minute to work with. They're moving towards the A site. There's a fake being sold towards the lower, but will they clear long? Gravity could get a couple, but he only gets 1, but still, numbers favor them. 2 versus 3. Ollie smokes down, bomb planted 2, and a post plant to be set up. There's a MAC-10 and an AK in play for 3D Max. This round is still on the cards here, especially with the numbers, and they might even just send Maka in to draw the crosshair away.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me is the fact that they're all coming in from this one angle. There's no flanking presence, there's no info to be gathered from such a flank. So it's going to be very, very tough here. They lack the smoke, they lack the kit that you usually would like here. They do manage to retrieve a smoke, though. Try and get a player on it.
On the bomb.
He is indeed diffusing here.
Oh!
But Fozie's got the lineup. Not for 1, not for 2, but for all 3 of them. They walk into his crosshair, and he saves the day.
A shooting gallery for Fuzi. That is sublime from him. Bails them out of a potential dicey round loss as well. They were basically playing the entirety of that round, or they did play the entirety of it at a numbers disadvantage, but they still make it stick, and it just shows what pressure that bomb plant can put on the shoulders, that clock above your head. Emax crumble under it. And the foundations of this 3D Max side are dropping at a rapid pace. Buy back in for the CT side, but you know, we talk about like best case scenarios and stuff, and in a traditional kind of competitive, even looking Overpass, if you get 5 rounds in your T side in those situations, you're so happy. But the way we're playing right now, 5 is the bottom end. I mean, Astralis can be guaranteed more than that. That is for sure. Mac, a missed shot. And a poor map number 1, where his AWP counterpart looks so clean. The flash over the corner. Can't get the second Masuta. That railing actually just saves his life, really. It soaks up most of the AK bullets.
I mean, I love the idea, though. The contact flash in is just gorgeous to watch. It didn't quite come off. Ryu's managed to make it up somehow.
Worth it.
Lucky kind of baiting things. Saw his teammate down the river, at least got the trade. Meanwhile, on B, Yabby wins his. It's turned into a TDM over here.
They'd have to commit to A.
He, moving forwards, will lose his life. Trying to wrestle something back. You can kind of agree with it. You can kind of understand the logic. It just doesn't come off nicely enough. Gravity going to get caught by Yabby, who slipped in behind enemy lines. And again, dejection over on the 3D Max side of things. I think there is a degree of honesty here that they just know they can't beat this team. They can't figure them out. And that continues to be the case. That continues to be the proof of the pudding.
Yeah. While they've definitely rectified some of the issues of this side at the start of the year, it is safe to say that some of these problems still remain as a stalwart issue for this side. Timeout taken, 6-1 down on the CT side. I'll keep bringing up the point, the last time these two sides played, it was a 13-2 scoreline. Real rough display there. And yeah, I mean, I seriously worry for how things pan out and whether it continues in that sort of same vein. I'm gonna check as well. So in that last one, it was a 10-2 first half from Strauss on the T side, and we're following the same footsteps at the moment. 3D Max ended up getting no rounds on their T side in towards that second half. This is not a good look. This is following the same vein. This is a copy-paste at the moment. A slim buy back in place for 3D Max. Double MP9, 357s. Can still be scary, but you'd hope Astralis have, for the most part, no issues. Here's the first and the second. The Stair going to get one as well in all the chaos and the carnage as he dives round. Yabby, that MAC-10 is flying into fights and continuing to make money. The Bank of Astralis is sitting very pretty at the moment, and another round in the back pocket for them, and another 7-1 scoreline, the same scoreline they had in Dust 2.
When you've been around for long enough, like me and Neo have, you know, and you watch enough Counter-Strike.
Are we unks?
I am.
Yeah.
You're nearly there, I think. But you've got a bit of a... I'm an old soul, you're a younger soul, to be fair. So I think that also...
That's why this duo works. You need you know,
I'm
like...
funny, good-looking, talented, and, you know, you're here, I guess. So.
Brilliant. Yeah.
You walked into that one, unfortunately.
I bring the green screen in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it works.
I still live at home with my parents, so...
Soon to change, though.
Yes.
All right. It's just sublime, honestly, from Astralis. 3D Max. Honestly, especially considering that the last time these two sides played, it was a 10-2 first half with that T side. If I'm 3D Max, I'm burning through all these tag timeouts in this first half. There is no point going into that second half
so true, actually.
with no foundations on the T side. Like, I don't know why they're not going for a attacking towards this one. You're back in towards your gun round. You've got a few rounds to play with at the tail end. I would be using up all of these, and this is where we look towards the likes of, you know, kind of Wassink, new coaching towards this side.
Yeah, what I was going to say, what I was kind of getting at, right, is just the fact that the way the rounds are unraveling, when you have these low buy rounds, you're not getting any kills. 1 in maybe 3, if we're being generous, rounds comes kind of close. It's kind of like, oh, I could see if only you got that kill and this kill, you might have been able to take this round. We're really having to clutch at straws to give them the benefit of the doubt that they might be able to take a round. So when that's happening, it's like, okay, yes, the scoreline's one-sided, the rounds are one-sided. It is just domination. It is just no competition. You know, your AWP is missing shots like this. and nearly going down. Okay, he did leg him actually. So at least there's a bit of a saving grace. Masuta to find Stair. Potentially something here. Masuta getting another. This is some confidence from the new addition to 3D Max.
Yeah, Fuzi stayed scoped in there, and he hoped that he could turn away from the flash in time, but he just couldn't. Being full blind, he was eyes and scope locked with a brick wall. Go back towards B. That's a nice find from Yabi. That low and that confident in the fight, you gotta love it. Ectasis eats a lot of damage to a nade. They're gonna cross in towards the site now, and in that smoke, they can get the C4 down. Yabi's holding to the extremity, but they can't deny the C4 being planted. Hooksy remains in the smoke, but surely to die, and he will. So all on the shoulders of one man. It's Ryu. He pulled up a 1 versus 2 earlier. Now needs a 1 versus 4 in this instance. He's got the first. The bomb is planted in a position which he can play from. There might be something still here, but no. I think the corpse blocks the scoped player in towards lower. And a sigh of relief for 3D Max. They finally get another round on the board, but it's still a long old road to recovery.
Yeah, you're right on the brink as well of that recovery. 7-5 is possible, could be doable. It's still, as you say, a long road, going to be a challenge for sure. There's an awful lot here for them to get through in order to convince us that they are going to be capable. It starts here. Still decent-ish money available for the Astralis side of things, so find out if they can recover things back, if they can keep buying as well, keep those bomb plants coming in. Time will tell.
Astralis, get an opener. Back in blood. Slower starts this round though for Astralis. They're drawing it out a little bit more. What is the play though? I think for 3D Max, they're probably a little bit perplexed because we've seen a lot of, basically every single T-set round in this series be really punchy and quick out the gates, and then it's a mid to late round draw. They start with a slow round here, and you can actually see 3D Max are on 10 to hook trying to figure out where are they finishing. The fact that they're now down to 3, that's not going to help. Fuzi, a pop shot, just to try and catch above dice. Has to be back. I mean, best of luck. One-man turret towards this B site all alone as they're starting to progress in with 25 seconds.
Utility over the top. And indeed, he's so far back as well, I don't think he can really stop them gaining the ground. It's immediate save, that's the idea, right? If someone had walked into his crosshair. But it's just unfortunate for 3D Max, you know, you want to start getting this ball rolling, man.
Yep.
It just does not seem to be happening for them. They are stopped at the very first line, stopped at the very first obstacle. Astralis again, you know, 11-1, 10-2. They're similar scorelines. Yeah. That's what they've got their sights set on, similar to Dust 2.
Yeah, honestly. Once again, another one-man show. A one-team show, I guess you could say. Worst hole. Worst show in 3D Max.
Not some of your best work.
What do you mean? They can't all be bangers.
That's fair.
Back up. He will get 2 on the exit, so silver linings, keeping that AWP in play. If he had fallen there, an AWP rebuy might have been quite tough. And actually a rebuy as a whole for 3D Max is quite tough, right? With loss bonus built up in the way it is, 3 stay alive you can reinvest in pretty comfortably. If it's only 2 though, that's when you actually have to make a harsh decision. Who takes a lesser buy for the likes of utility? Sort of a bit of a worst case scenario as well for them because, like you were mentioning, you just get around the board. It just feels like you can get back into things, and then it instantly gets thrown back in your face, and it just gives you no confidence at all.
Oh goodness, picking up the pace here, looking to try and catch them asleep at the wheel potentially, especially that AWP. They are bursting through the smoke here. I'm not sure how much we advise this. Yabi can't quite catch him.
Oh, run out of ammo.
Oh my goodness, that is so awkward. Yeah, but he was reloading for a good while there. Could not capitalize. Fozy, meanwhile, has been on this line, on this short position. No one's walked into his crosshair, so Astralis mixing things up. Questionably, you might say. certainly feeling like they need to force this 9th.
Oh, I don't like this. Oh, it works though.
He knew.
Yeah.
Maybe heard a scope at some point.
Oh,
Gravity while blind. So here we go. Maybe things turning up rosy for 3D Max. They get some luck on their side this time around.
they beat the previous half score line at Cluj. That was a 10-2 first half. They're going to get a third. That's nice. Any more for any more would be lovely. Leg spotted off Maka, but he wins out the fight. Much more like it. And actually, again, one of the, probably like the first confident round we've really seen from 3D Max since like the first half of play in Dust 2. Like that is finally something. The only issue is though, you would say that's something to build on. It's not. There's no real time in this half to build on it. Is the unfortunate thing. Yes, you can get 4 rounds, but 4 rounds in your CT side more often than not is not enough.
Yeah.
So
it's the best of a bad situation is kind of what they're at. And like I say, it was, you may argue, a needless change-up from Astralis, just going for that relentless kind of aggression.
They've also got room to spare there, right? I feel like they're just so confident right now.
I think they could have just played a more conventional round and
and I agree.
Probably would have won.
I think Yabi's been doing really great work on these lurks. Like, he's just a constant thorn in the side. You actually look, despite the successes that Astralis have had, a couple of rounds without a bomb plan, and they're left with a little bit of a funky bite. Khalil for Stair, Tech9 for Ryu and Hooksy. He's the one who wielded a lot of the util, him and Fuzi. But yeah, they're going to go back to B, it seems. And Stair now left to lurk towards his top side.
Spamming away. Nothing coming for him, but he's enjoying a lurk over here on A, which he has found success with previously. Seems like they will still commit to B as these smokes go down. Is there a replenishment on the cards? It would seem not, as neither of the players have got the smoke available.
Oh, brilliant.
Yabi flattens them, and that'll be the B bomb site taken. Probably would be a save here, but final round of the half, so you absolutely have to go for it. Can they pull this off against all the odds? Clenching victory from the jaws of defeat in what could be a very key round here. Not looking too likely, as the nades are just softening them up. There's no wide swings, aggressive moves.
What a contact play, though, honestly. Like, that's such a bold call off the round you've just had. You just got shut down doing a contact play in that previous round. Obviously, it was a quick one, don't get me wrong, but this time they slow it down, and that's what happens.
All right.
A warbang and a swing.
They just took about 25 seconds in connector there, though, so hardly any time to get in here. Far too many bodies just, like, physically to get through and shoot. Did lose a little bit of a player, but I think he was already dead, so it didn't make too much of a difference. Might have a bit of a wait then before we get back into that pistol. All the same, I think 3D Max might be thankful for a break here. We're going to see you in a few and find out if Astralis can close it out here and now.
back in. We're heading in towards this second half. And again, the signs look bleak, let's put it frankly, for 3D Max. They're 9-3 down after a pretty emphatic T-side coming through from Astralis. It's just a side who, again, these T-sides are just so efficient, right? There's no wasted movement for the most part. The ideas behind it are so clean and so comfortable. I love what I'm seeing. And the thing is with 3D Max, the road to recovery now it's even harder than it already was heading in towards this map. Like they mentally have got to be so dejected.
Yeah, briefly a competition coming into this as we were excited for the matchup and the stakes and you know the history that these two teams have got. But now it is just an exhibition, you know, really rolling over their opponents. There's ultimately no real competition, it feels like. Unless 3D Max can change things up and find a new version of themselves, perhaps. Really has been difficult to witness here. Is just, you know, 3D Max, this is kind of once in a while what happens. They just completely lose track of themselves, and they don't really have, as we said a couple times where we've been catching them, a different gear, a different approach. We don't even did we see a single timeout from them in that first half? Yeah, one. Okay. Which is like, I feel like you've got to have a couple at least.
Yeah, why are we not using all three? Like, you're 9-3 down now heading into your T side. That puts so much pressure on your T side. I just don't get why we don't use all of them in that sort of situation. You know that the kind of task ahead is so tough. Why aren't you trying to alleviate as much pressure as you can, or, you know, ice out Astralis, who are looking so comfortable, and the momentum and the snowball effect is really rolling through. It really is baffling to me. But it just feels like they've made Astralis' life even easier. Or, on the flip side, lack of timeouts might just kind of show to me that they just don't have a clue. Like, they don't have an idea about how to make this one work.
Well, yeah, especially the overpass, right? It would sort of make sense because it's one that they have a couple reps on, one against this very team where they got smashed.
Are we going on a walk here, by the way?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just nostril cam for...
yeah. Day in the life of a webcam.
There we go. We're set up.
Just got to make sure everybody's happy, I suppose.
Honestly, he might have, it looked like if he was like on his phone, I'd be like logging back into like Steam or something. Right. But yeah, we are just waiting for one before we get underway.
I would imagine him as well, actually.
I think you potentially might be right. So, dropped out the tail end of the half as well,
yes,
right?
I think so. A little bit of an issue. The online CS, it can happen, unfortunately. Well, it does happen. It's just the way it goes. It's all about fixing it quickly, you know. That's where we sometimes have a problem.
Come on, XSC, speed it up, mate. In you get. But nonetheless, I mean, for 3D Max, I mean, bar that cheeky little laugh there from Asuta, for the most part, the vibes don't look fantastic, and they haven't really all the way throughout. Where, flip side, Astralis, not only in the server, but out the server on the cams, very comfortable, very calm and composed. Couple of laughs here and there, because they know that they are coasting to a simple 2-0 here and booking their spot into the next stage of EPL. And you have to say, with the performance they've had, especially here, just deservedly.
I like judging the backgrounds. That's kind of my favorite thing to do in these moments.
Good signs, good air quality.
Yeah, sure.
We've already spoke about this wallpaper.
I mean, you just can't beat this, though.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really is.
It's just really lovely interior design. You know, the wood walls. They're not really walls. What would you call them? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
Baroque is a word that springs to mind, but I don't know if that's just...
Never even heard that word, so I'll leave that one to you, mate.
I might have made it up, to be fair. It's entirely possible.
Isn't there like a AK skin like Baroque purple or Baroque purple?
Yeah,
the one? It's not very wood, that one. That's just purple.
No. I don't know if it's just down to the patterning, though, that it's sort of like French traditional patterning is where my head's at.
Got a Pokeball up there?
Yeah.
A couple of Pokemon in the back, I'm pretty sure. It's like Gengar, Zorua maybe as well, I think I see.
Masuta's is pretty good. And then you got like Crazy Viking Man or something.
Yeah. Could be a fantastic time to crack a Red Bull. I feel like, they all need to lock in, get a bit of energy in. It's been a low energy...
He's got the Grogu as well.
Oh, from Mandalorian?
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen it.
Bit of a favourite. I watched the first couple seasons and everyone said like the third season stunk, so I just didn't watch it.
I liked Andor.
Andor's very good.
Andor was good.
Andor's like a standout. At how good it is. Most of the Disney Plus Star Wars era
pretty
TV
mid
show things, relatively. fan service. You know, if you're into Star Wars, you probably enjoy them. But there's Counter-Strike happening right now, so you know, go and check that out after.
Yeah.
This should be over pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah,
so, you know, if you want to check out the shows we're on about, just wait, give it like 10 minutes.
Map 1, we suggested 7 Deadly Sins. That's a great one.
Yeah.
And then map 2, we said Andor.
Yeah.
But again, wait for this series to
Andor's
finish.
pretty good, man.
Yeah. So 7 Deadly Sins. Definitely a good show. Not 7, no.
Just
7 Deadly Sins is mid. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as well.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
7 Deadly Sins is pretty average.
And then
I'm thinking anime here, though.
Right.
I don't know how much anime you end up watching.
I don't got a lot of ball knowledge. I watched Mirai Nikki, if you know that one.
I actually don't, to be
Future Diary.
Oh,
he gets
sure.
told the future on his phone.
Ah.
That was a little... Yeah, I was like, all right, if this
Full
is what it's
Metal
like...
Alchemist Brotherhood is pretty sick. It's like kind of like World War II, basically.
Yeah, I think I watched like the first
Essentially.
couple episodes. But the problem with anime is you go like, oh, this is kind of good. Let me just have a little... And then it's like 14 seasons, 25 episodes a season. It's like,
I will
Jesus,
say,
man.
Full Metal Alchemist is only 60 episodes, so you can actually get through it. You can binge watch that one. But we're back in towards the Counter-Strike here, and Uxie under a bit of pressure, but he has a lot of support. And Ryu playing around the smoke. Everyone's blind, and Ryu's going to get 2. Lucky and Gravity combine as Exorcist finds one of his own. So the numbers go the way of the T-side, but this is a bit of a manic pistol round. And Stair might just slip the net. He does. I don't know whether he would have been spotted, but he's definitely going to be held for. And Exorcist gets another. So it's all on the shoulders of Yabi. A 1 versus 3. Armor, but no util, no kit. Best of luck, and he'll lose his head to a P250. 3D Max desperately needed a pistol. They'll get it. And now it's about chaining that into further momentum. Use that as a catalyst to further success. The one thing is, though, they got a pistol in Dust 2 second half. And they lost the force buy and then just lost the half.
Just got to keep reminding 3D Max where they are, you know, and what's been happening. Yeah, it's sort of a sad one, honestly, for Astralis. Ryu finds 2 very unlikely kills, and nobody else is able to support him, you know? So, a shame. Well, would you have it? The Astralis stacking.
I like this one.
I'm a fan of this one.
It's very often uncleared properly. Or most people give it a little bit of a half look.
Yeah.
It's also good as well at the same time if Huxi shows any presence towards either long or through bathrooms. Like, if he peeks first, their attention does get drawn a little bit. No way. Nah, that's Molly for Divider, surely. Okay, well, when they come, they're going to dive in towards mid. It's money to be made at Mach 10, and plenty of it. A couple of kills from Akka. Nice work. Again, though, couple of kills for Shot. Yeah, you didn't bring anything towards that round. You're not too upset with it. It's a throwaway round regardless.
I always say any damage is good damage, you know? That one goes back a while with me.
Just reminding myself that it wasn't actually the force buy that Astralis won. They did the same thing that Ecode and won the first gun round and then just ran away with the half, right? And this is the worry that, you know, for 3D Max, the first test of whether there's any substance behind a recovery here is whether they can win this gun round.
Yeah, they won the force buy here, of course.
Yes,
so, you know, they have been able to really pull off some unlikely rounds and just make themselves known. Even in that round, finding a couple of kills, it feels like more than you'd maybe expect them to get running into the majority of the 3D Max Vanguard. Rushing up short here. Not going to net anything just yet. It's more of an A-lean coming in from 3D Max, actually, and Stare.
I like it.
Dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. He's had a tough game as well, so...
He's falling away at a good point, though, right? I feel like for him, he realizes that you stick around the smoke as it fades. That's not a favorable fight. But dipping a little bit further back, then he can have support from the A site itself, as we actually can see a rotate coming through from Huxi. He's very isolated here, but he's hearing a lot of information.
There's just nobody that's checked for him. Even had a little look.
Can't believe it, yeah.
So he could get away with a lot. They're not looking. There's nobody holding behind. They do not expect him. Oh, it's the third man that's able to react, but everybody else is distracted. He gets a 2-piece. Is it enough? Yabi's here so quickly. Half an eye on him. They'll definitely know about him now. He has a decision to make. Does he want a full send? Is he waiting for some kind of utility or support? The answer is the latter. The bomb gets dropped as the bank smoke fades. Uzi holds cleanly, and it's the cavalry that arrives to save the day.
Yeah, honestly, Stair does well to get 2 out of that. Even getting 1 felt kind of unlikely just because of that potential of Maka coming in through Divider, but he doesn't. They all got Banana, and that is just, it's such an oversight from 3D Max not to even send one person to have a little look in towards bathroom. and Fuzi as well. The first is a freebie. He's trained on the angle, head pops up, easy find. The second, though, nice little movement back, noses the potential they could have crept through Dumpster and their own smoke, and, well, that's that. Gun round goes back in their favor. The first side to lock into double digits, and Astralis are the one who call for a timeout. But again, they did the same thing in towards Dust too. They call timeouts from positions of success, position of strength, which is with the plan and the kind of the knowledge that you get to discuss what level of buy they're going to bring through here.
Yeah.
And you should know that there really isn't going to be that big of an investment, but they have to go for an investment.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You know, you got the timeouts, you got the rounds to work with. Just absolutely showing full respect to Cross, but we love a proactive timeout. You know, we see a number of teams, and I would say 3D Max are a little included in it, where it's like you call a timeout when you're 7-2 down.
Yep.
It's like, bro, it's a lot of pressure on that timeout. Like, this timeout, then the following round has to work. And arguably, it just gets even more tilting and annoying if you're putting more effort, more time, and you still can't win the rounds.
Nice nade.
Decent start. Trying to break through here. It's that silent break, but there's nobody on the other end of it, unfortunately, at this stage.
Also, in the same way, not the greatest of breaks too, because they have to swing quite wide to see around it. 4-0 in the end anyway. Deep smoke by Yabi, front side of Monster. That sort of smoke too really wants to invite in a bit of pressure. He's got the support of Ryu, so why wouldn't you? They're setting up for a B hit. Still plenty of time to work with, but this looks like it might be a fundamentally quite simple one, and Ryu will re-up that Monster smoke. Flashes and they come.
Dangerous here, man. Going through this Monster smoke is not wise. Ryu teaches them a good lesson. And he's on for the ace. Runs out of ammo. He gets to, well, Huxley had already stolen one anyway. So, yeah, Huxley saving, but also denying the ace in the end.
He didn't need the help by the end.
Ultimately, a really, really nice hold. And I think, again, just very, very questionable stuff from 3D Max. You kind of know, don't you? Everybody knows. You go bursting through that, you are just throwing caution to the wind and hoping that a stray bullet goes your way.
We're just buying time here for the end of this map and the series, ultimately. 2 more rounds to garner for Astralis, and, well, one of the 2 will come easily. This one for 3D Max. Force buy in the previous, low buy here. P250 from Asuta, a Deagle, and a P250 from Maka as well. I mean, the chances are so slim. Fuzi spots one. Bit of a late shot there as well, but he will be put under pressure, and it's pressure that doesn't phase him. Second time round, he'll find Maka. One of the upgraded pistols already hitting the deck. Work. 1, 2. He knows about the mid player too, because he missed a shot on him, and he's also dropped the bomb.
Had to be careful, had to be very, very careful, but indeed they are after him now. Just wanting to get this one kill once again. He's on the USP. Making it look a bit easy here for the eco frags.
Feign the reload as well.
Yeah, there you go. Lovely stuff. 4-piece against the eco. I'll get his stats up, you know, so he can look towards it at the end of the game, but ultimately able to hit that 12 very, very early. Map and series point coming in here. And of course, qualification point to stage 2. A pretty big deal for Astralis, 3D Max. This is also some of the mindset that comes in, is the fact that they do still have a game in hand if they were to lose this one, if maybe becoming when. So they're still going to be able to battle up a little bit. But Astralis, it's a really big deal to not have to play as many games as possible and then risk having a loss. It's just losing out in the 2-3 bracket is the worst way to go out, in my opinion.
Oh, swing from Ryu. Easy for one. The spam is close for another. He's going to get blinded, and he picks a questionable time to reload, let's put it that way. Yabi for one. A quick trade from Gravity as he looks to put further pressure on. He's up the spot on towards Bridge, and they'll lose out that duel, and in doing so, Astralis win out the series. It's just too easy, and a somewhat effortless cruise by the predominantly Danish side to net the map in the series there. That